Chancellor, let's talk about yesterday's autumn statement, of course, and the huge U-turn that you have made. The Shadow Chancellor was on saying it's a massive victory for Labour.
Well, look, the Labour Party got this country into the economic mess that unfortunately we've all had to endure in recent years, and it's David Cameron and the Conservatives who've been working hard to pull us out of that mess. You know, and if you look at the spending review yesterday, it set out what Britain needs to do to reduce its borrowing, to run a surplus, to make sure we're paying down our debts. It means difficult decisions in day-to-day spending, but it means investment in the long term and protecting vital things like our NHS and our police. And by taking these decisions, no more, no less, it means there's light at the end of the tunnel for Britain and we can ensure our economic and national security.
Yeah, but, you know, when you propose those tax credit cuts, you put so many people into a panic. We spoke to people here on the programme who didn't know what they were going to do to make ends meet, really, really worried about it. You have now acknowledged in the Commons yesterday that was a mistake. You've U-turned on it. You know, this was, you must realise now that looked like a punishment to a certain group of people who were simply trying to do their jobs and make the numbers add up.
Well, look, my central judgment is this. We need to move as a country to a lower welfare, higher wage economy. And I made two announcements. One, that we had to move to those lower welfare systems, but we also wanted to introduce a national living wage. Now, people said to me, well, maybe we're moving too quickly and the tax credit changes were part of that. I listened to those concerns, and because the public finances are better, because our economy is healthier, I'm able to help families. But what we're all trying to build here is a country that's better prepared for the future, spending money on the things that are going to make our economy stronger in the long term and give people jobs. And the people watching this programme want to know that we're delivering that economic security, and we are.
Yeah, but one of the things, you know, when you said you were going to introduce this national living wage, many of the people who were going to be affected by the tax credit cuts already earned above that. That's why it was going to be impossible for them to make ends meet. I mean, what it made it, you know, people will say, it made it look like you were a chancellor who didn't know what it was actually like for the people who were going to be affected. And it looked like yesterday you acknowledged that.
No, look, I don't think it's a weakness, if you're doing a job like mine, to listen to people and listen to the concerns that are made. The key thing is, you know, where is the country going? And as a country, we face all sorts of challenges in the world. I want to make sure people have great careers. I want to make sure there are more homes like the ones here in Essex that are being built behind me. And we can do that by spending less on welfare, more on the economic infrastructure of the country, more on our NHS and our police to keep us safe. And the changes I've set out achieve that. Can I help families as we make the transition to that new society? Yes, I can. And that's what I was able to do. But I was only able to do it because of all the hard steps we've taken together to make this country more secure. I mean, just it's a world away from where we were 5 or 6 years ago when, you know, things like this building project were just simply not happening in our country.
A number of the commentators have described the autumn review as less of an economic budget, more of a political one. They're saying that clearly you've got your eye on number 10, you've got your eye on 5 years' time and actually taking the top job. Is that something that's there for you as well, Chancellor, at some point in the future? You'd like to be in that position, you'd like to be Prime Minister, and a part of you is thinking this is about setting us and being in that position in 5 years?
No, what I did yesterday was take difficult decisions. You know, some of them won't be easy. We've got to reduce the size of bits of government. We've got to make sure we're spending money on the things that really matter for our long term. And I'm so focused on that. You know, this job is all consuming and all absorbing. And so I'm 100% focused on that. And, you know, in our country, we have a very strong Prime Minister.
Prime Minister in the future, that's not an ambition that you have?
Well, you know, we've got a very strong Prime Minister in David Cameron, who later today will be setting out the case for why Britain should be taking part in the action against that vile terrorist organisation, ISIL. And I'm very proud to serve with him and do my best in this job to help working people in this country.
All right, there we must leave it. George Osborne, thanks very much indeed.